Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching, and welcome to our live watch along of the second pool game in the group stages of the World Cup for both Australia and the USA. The game all set, not far from kickoff now. And cannot wait for this one. The USA versus Australia. There's been a lot of talk in the lead up to this one. The US go in as favourites. Australia looking to see what they can do. The winner will secure their progress to the knockout stages here. The loser will be back to their third game to try and lock it in. A draw would be positive for both, but both sides will be absolutely chasing 3 points. Let's have a look at how the two teams do line up. So for the US, in goals is Matt Freese. Their back line will be Alex Freeman, Chris Richards, Tim Ream, and Anthony Robinson. Midfield, well, they got two. They'll play in a 4-2-3-1. So it will be Malik Tillman and Tyler Adams as well. They're attacking midfield. They're set up in behind their lone striker will be Sergio Dest, Weston McKennie, and Ricardo Pepe. And up front, it will be Falarin Balogun. For Australia, Patrick Beach is in goals again. Just two changes from their starting lineup from the first game. Jacob Italiano, Alexandre Sakati, Harry Suter, Cam Burgess, and Geordie Boss will be the back line. The midfield four. Matt Leckie comes in alongside Aidan O'Neill and Paul Ocon-Engsler, who were there last game. Nishan Valuple also comes in. So Connor Metcalf and Nestori Urankunda drop back to the bench. And Mohamed Toure will start. Hey, Murray, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. I do remember. It's been a while. Mosky? No, I haven't put any bets on the game, mate. Not today. What about you? Have you got any bets on the game, Mosky? You got some money on the Aussies? A few people took some juicy 550 against Turkey. A few people I was talking to last night, they're backing down again, so put some of their profits in. Really looking forward to this one. Not far from kickoff now. As I said, a lot on the line. Well, the two sides are ready. Kickoff is only moments away. Predictions. My head says 2-2. My heart says Australia's scrape a win. So based on that, they're probably both wrong. I know the Americans probably get it done. It's interesting to see that Australia have gone with some different tactics, but no Christian Pulisic makes a real interesting play as well. But we are underway. Australia immediately loft the ball forward, looking to get things going here. What's your thoughts, Murray? Yeah, nice, Mosky. I like that. I'll be honest, I just didn't really get around to it. It wasn't so much that I was avoiding it. So, all set and all rolling. Trey pushing forward Toure, sneaking in behind already. Plays it into the box, takes a shot. Well saved by Freese. Australia showing some intent to get after the ball, pressing hard early. Little errant pass there from the US. They play it in. Yeah, I think we will try and be as physical as we can. I think we're also going to try and use Toure's pace to get in behind a lot there. And a little bit of an aging defensive lineup for the US. Ball lofted forward for the US, but Beach easily controls it. I'm trying to get Anthony Robinson, the man from Fulham, in behind. They play it out here, Australia. Burgess, shoulder dropped onto him. Push forward here, Australia. Both sides trying to get on top. And it spills out now to Alex Freeman. Lay it off. Tyler Adams dropping back. Plays it wide. Dest. It's playing on the right edge. Now they swing it across the back line. Chris Richards. Freeman again. Americans will try and be patient, control this build-up. Yeah, it's definitely an asset with some of those players they've got. And I think some of the pieces with keeping Iran Kunda on the bench, they've gone for a bit more experience with Lecky, and then they'll try and bring him in against a tiring American side at some point in that second half. Freeman takes the throw deep in Australian territory. Goes all the way back to Richards. And played across now. Ream, the captain, on the ball, just on the edge of the centre circle. Richards inside the centre circle, working just backwards and forwards for Ream. Now Robinson cuts to the outside. Italiano gets a boot in. Last touch off Robinson over the byline. Goal kick. Beach with the goal kick goes long. Everyone's clustered to the right-hand side of attack on halfway. The US a little more direct than Turkey were. There's a foul given here. Foul goes against Weston McKennie. Ball lofted wide straight away. Australia played into the American defender. America get the throw. Freeman will take it deep in defensive territory. Pops it back for the easily definable figure of Chris Richards, who goes across now. Tim Ream. Sending Anthony Robinson down the left. Matt Leckie trying to defend him. Ball played infield for Malik Tillman. Now they go back across. Richards. Wide for Dest now on the right. Quick ball movement from the Americans. On a quick, tight, accurate passing seems to be the MO for them. Richards now pushing through to the top of the centre circle. They push forward. They'll pull it wide. Weston McKennie out wide on the right. Sends it back centrally for Tyler Adams. He's happy to tic-tac the ball around. The Americans, they float one over the top now. Looking for an attacking route. McKennie curls it in. Scrappy in the box. Socceroos. Robinson crosses it in. And push wide of the target, but we've got a foul in the lead up. Good ball movement and control. The Americans look decent early. So what can they come up with here? Australia work it out of their own end. They go long again. They're looking to play it out here. Americans win out. Play it back. Australia will press. Go all the way back to Freese. Australia press and they take it away here. Nishan Valupale. He is dispossessed. Chris Richards plays it down. Again, physical from both sides. Played in, Toure. Pinballing. The captain cleans up. Ream plays it down. Played into a defender. Australian throw. Malik Tillman tried to convince the referee otherwise. They just have to come back and retake the throw. Australia trying to control it. They decide to go defensive, but that's an errant pass, and Sutar has to work all the way back and provide it to Beach, who'll now drive long, just straight down the middle. Initial header one out by the Australians, but America play it forward. A lot of hit and hope when the ball's in contest, realistically, from both sides. Yeah, it looks good, Murray. It's just about whether they can maintain. It's going to be the question. It's going to take a lot of energy. A heavy challenge there. Tyler Adams is down. Matthew Leckie, the man, he commits the foul. Reasonably heavy foul, but he only had eyes for the ball. You wouldn't have seen Adams arriving the way he did. Mauricio Pochettino looking very calm and composed on the sideline. 8 minutes gone, and both sides just feeling each other out at the moment. US will work it down the right-hand side. Nice little ball movement passage there. McKinney cuts back away from the byline, feeds it in centrally. Not quite on target, but Adams recovers, picks it up. Freeman. Now Dest. Plays it in, gets the ball returned to him in the box, takes a strike. Well blocked by the defence of the Australians. They're headed away. Not completely dealt with, though, just outside the 18-yard box. Returned across now to Richards. He'll play it centrally for Tillman. Now they go Ream, wide to Robinson on the left. Nothing presents, so he goes back to the captain, who's back towards halfway. He returns it to his fellow centre-back in Adams, Richards, inside the centre circle. Ream will play it back across again. Now they swing it wide. Ball played down the line. McKinney does well. Very good tight quarters control. And he plays for Juventus. They drop it back again here. Alex Freeman. McKinney. Freeman and McKinney just exchanging passes. Now they play it down the line. Nishan steps in with the tackle. Clearance is skewed off the outside of the boot there from Cam Burgess and just goes back over the sideline. And Sergino Dest will take the throw. Ten minutes gone. America working into the box, and there is your opener. No mucking about. They played in really directly this time, and they get it done. Ricardo Pepe looks like the scorer. That really came from nothing. What about that? Rapid. Takes the wind out of the sail of the Australians. Some really direct ball movement. No playing it around. Was a very nicely worked goal. First real shot in anger here, and they just draw the Australian line up, hop the ball in, pace in behind. We talked about Australia using their pace and fed in. Pepe just got the pass that he wanted. Beautiful lead-up run from Balogun. Might even go down as an own goal, to be fair, I think. Let's have a look at this replay at angle. Will indeed. I thought Pepe got to it first, but it's going to be Burgess with an own goal. It's a little frustrating for the Australians, but they know there's work to be done. America will look to capitalise here on the momentum. Sakati plays it forward. Now played in behind, trying to work a ball for Italiano. It's hit after the pass. Toure pokes it in. Shot taken, just wide. That's better from Australia, though. Good build up. Lecky taking the strike. Just didn't quite get the clean contact. Good movement around the top of the 18-yard box, though. Wasn't far away. Let's try to poke it off the outstep of the right boot. US loft it long and Beach easily deals with it, quickly gets it moving. Out to Burgess. Misdirected pass, quickly picked off, and they work it through the middle now. It's deflected there by the Australians, by the defence. Again, it is that man Burgess. He was so crucial against Turkey. So it'll be a corner for the US, first corner of the match. Malik Tillman to take it. Not sure our scoreboard didn't update before. Yeah, we'll fix that and refresh it. Now it'll be right. Great to have you all tuning in. Make sure to hit like on the video. Hit subscribe on the channel. Get involved in those comments as well. We'll chat here for Paul Ocon-Engsler and Chris Richards. I'd say the referee's really proactive in his management here. Richards obviously one of the target men for Tillman. Curls it in dangerously, headed down, deflected by the defence. America pulls it away, but there's a foul in there in the lead-up. Weston McKennie not happy. I call for handball, actually. McKennie. Try to go long now. Robinson leaps up, gets the header. Ball played down, too heavy down the line. Robinson will pick up, take it back to Ream. He'll switch across now to Chris Richards. Short pass Alex Freeman. They play it through the midfield now. Clicked over the top, some good control. Australia come away with Toure. Richards tackles and takes it away. Challenge from Velupile on Adams. And now it'll be a foul. Dead ball opportunity for the US in their own half. Now they recycle it back through the defensive line. Adams plays it down the line for McKenny. Taps it on for himself. Takes a little bump. That's going to be a card, I think. Will be. Yellow card for Geordie Boss. Americans are getting right on top here. I think to your point before, Murray, what Pochettino's done with this team is absolutely phenomenal. He's been smart. I think the US Soccer Federation have been really good in terms of going and getting commitments over the last few years from a lot of these players who may have had dual eligibility, etc. So the US now with an opportunity here with the dead ball. They curl it into the box and flicked over the top. McKenny absolutely got all of that and flew it over the crossbar. But they've got this wonderful new generation of players. As I said, a number of them may not have been what the US would have traditionally looked for in terms of heritage players, etc., but it works really well. Aussies are going to get red at least. Yeah, maybe. As in a red card. They've been quite physical. We'll see. There hasn't been anything that's been that outlandish yet. I think if they do get a red, it'll be a second yellow. That'll be the kind of thing that you'll see as foul given. Mr. McKenny's going to need a caution here. Neil tried to play on quickly from the free kick, and McKenny just took his time and was happy to get in the way. And the referee said, no, you've got to give him time to get out of there. Australia move it on now. Burgess plays it down. Knock on Angsler. It looked like a foul in itself, but the referee says no, it'll be an American throw. Back they go to Richards now. Richards across to Ream. Happy to work it and use the build-up play. The Americans seize their opportunity when it comes. They're on top here, so they've got no reason to panic or rush. Dest now cuts back infield. Goal's really taking the air out of the Aussies, I'll be honest. They play this forward now, headed down. Back to Ream, switches it across now. Freeman floats it wide. McKinney. Close quarters skill of the Americans does certainly look in excess of the Aussies. Ream floating the ball in, looking for a run here. He finds it from Dest, who plays it into the edge of the box, but the defence picks it up. They only just do as much as return it to Dest. Americans into the top of the box and dispossessed. Burgess plays it long. Foot race here, and Priest is going to come out of his box. Because Toure had gotten the better of the defence and was in behind. It's a good clearance though, Priest. It goes all the way back now to Beach, who sends it long again. Aussies come away with the ball for the time being. Errant passing for Australia. Robinson steps in and just clears it across the line near halfway. Makes a deflection off the Australian, so it will be an American throw. Americans just patiently working it through their defensive line here. Tyler Adams sitting deep. Plays it wide to Robinson. Australians step in with a lunge and push it back towards the American last line. Now the US floating it in behind. That's a nice ball. Beach is out though. Read it well. Balogun frustrated. He didn't do a little more with that. Again, the Americans just reading how the Australians are distributing. Balogun into the box. Takes a strike. Deflected by the Aussies again. And they play the ball wide. Opportunity here. Pushing down the line. Italiano. Robinson tracks back. Italiano cuts infield. Yeah, I think they're, to be fair, Murray, they're probably performing below their best at the moment in terms of some of that stuff. I think there's some skill there. I think the Americans are better at it, that's for sure. But the Americans are performing at a high level by their standard, whereas the Australians aren't in some of that third and fourth passing contact, which is a real challenge and a real frustration as an Aussie fan. Speaking of that, Australia now work the ball forward. Nothing presents, so they drop it back to Sutar. Sutar and Chikati. Chikati now down the line. Floats it on, little tap forward. That's nice work. Out in front of Lecky. Lecky curls it into the box. Opportunity. That was a great ball from Matt Lecky. Good last line defending from Malik Tillman. Nishan Valupale was into the box, and that wasn't far away from being an equaliser. That looks much more promising. That's exactly what we're talking about, Murray. Just getting those couple of extra passes, putting themselves in the right position there, and all of a sudden, he's had a half chance, but Tillman was just a split second quicker to react. Did very well there, Malik Tillman. Positives out of that play for both sides. Australia now with a corner. Floated in looking for Sutar. It's deep. Gets the header on it. Played on. And it'll go out again for another corner. Some on the other side for the Australians. Sutar heavily marked, so they might need to look at another option if they want to get someone at the 6-yard box. Again, ready to be taken here. O'Neill. Looking for Sutar again. It's headed away by the US. Freeze takes a dive. Was there a collision there? We're going to have the hydration break. The bane of my existence, the hydration break. If you haven't already, check out my little video on the hydration break, actually, because it's definitely well worth a watch, I think. Great to have you all tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit like on the video. Hit subscribe on the channel as well. Now they head into this hydration break, and away we go. As I was saying just before too, if you haven't already, check out the video on my channel that I did a little earlier in the week around hydration breaks and my frustrations with them. So These hydration breaks, I just don't understand. Some of these games are being played in like 21 and 22 degree temperatures. Why do they need a hydration break would be my question. But anyway, enough of my ranting. I did the video already. Three minutes of advertising. Chance for marketers. That's what it comes down to from my point of view. But here we are. It is what it is, and we're going to get stuck with it for the whole tournament. Nothing like FIFA to be involved in making sure they've got a little bit of extra coin floating their way. So we get set, get back underway here. And the Americans send it long. Working the ball around. Here they come, Robinson. They go back to Ream. Ream across now to Richards. Richard plays it forward. Robinson. He's looked dangerous. He gets a nice return pass. He hits the accelerator down that left line. Cross it in. Cross. A little errant. Erring on the side of caution there. The Aussie defence, they'll just headed across the sideline. Is it already out? That's the question. I don't know. The camera just focusing on Popovic. It was. There we go. Come back for a goal kick. Yeah, it is an ad break with extra steps, Murray. I agree. I just worry about what it does to the, it's a very broad term, but the fabric of football. And, sometimes once these things come in once, then all of a sudden, they come in a second time. Once they've done it for two tournaments, it becomes the accepted norm. And considering the majority of the world that plays football is a lot of countries in the Northern Hemisphere, when we have a look at where a number of the upcoming World Cups are going to be. And I just wonder if they use the excuse of their northern summers to ensconce this over the next 2 or 3 World Cups. And then football will become a game of quarters, essentially at this level. Because the advertising dollar does speak very loudly. The Americans go wide here. Working around, just flicked back by Freeman. Adams tracks back to get it. Americans definitely well on top here. Australia have had those couple of glimpses, but it's nothing consistent or at that level that you think that they're going to really get on top of this one, unfortunately. Americans earn themselves another corner here. Floated into the box. Comes down, nothing made in terms of contact. Australia just happy to try and Ocon Engsler shepherd it away. Interestingly, assistant referee says that it'll be an American throw. It's been a glance somewhere. It looked like it beat everyone. Freeman takes the throw and sends it all the way back to Richards, who lays it off now for Adams. Back to Ream inside the centre circle. Ream taking his time. Holding it up. Trying to draw Toure to him. Now, he and Richards just exchanging passes. Now they go down the left flank. Peter pass inside. Wonderfully done. Another card here. That didn't look... Chicati. That didn't look like all that much contact. Second yellow here. Only 32 or so minutes gone. Chicati was pretty careless, but did raise a valid point that his shirt was being pulled by the opponent. Dangerous set piece opportunity here. About 12 metres outside the 18-yard box, in line with the left-hand edge of the 18-yard, as the Americans would look at it. Floated in dangerously, headed away. Got an Australian player down. He's been cleaned up, and we're going to have a foul. It's Aidan O'Neill. He's back to his feet. Now, Americans get their head in, break up the long ball from the Australians. Robinson, nice little turning in tight quarters. They drive it long and over the sideline just to get out of trouble, America. Now Australia working it back through the defensive line. Pressure here. They try and thread a pass away. Doesn't quite work out, but they hang on to possession for a couple more passes. Strong collisions. And there will be a foul there. Des just cleaned up as he tried to make his run through. So America now work the ball along. The US. Anthony Robinson. Plays it back to Ream. Across to Adams now. The anchor in midfield. I think I like about how the Americans are going about this. They just don't look to be in a rush, but then when they do pull the trigger, it's a rate of knots. Nice ball outside by Des. Just gets past Boss and pulls it back to McKenny. Freeman. They switch the point of attack across now. Ream goes wide to the left. Balogun. Nice control and wonderful control. They go back to Ream with nothing presenting on the left, and I'll roll this across and see if something will offer on the right. Nothing there, so back to the left edge they go. Ream sitting wider than he has. Now Tillman plays it into the box. Balogun, some nice little pirouettes and takes it away. Ball goes out of play. America will have the throw. They don't muck about. They keep things moving here, looking for a second. Played into the box. Robertson. McKenna, and then just seen away. Chicati gets a boot in. The US press some more, pushing forward. Adams. Ream across now. Chris Richards. Tim Ream working it down the line. Robinson feeds it in now. Balogun outside the box. Ball, says the referee, on the tackle. Play on. It's deflected over the sideline. Australia will have a throw. Alec Tillman applying the pressure. Taliana will take the throw. US have dominated territory and possession in this game. Turkey did similarly in the first game against Australia, but Australia got on top of that. Another stray pass from the Aussies here. Done well to track it down inside the sideline. Push forward here. Again, hit and hope from the Australians. Picked up by the Americans. No runners pushing forward, so the US easily able to clean up. And the ball goes through. They break the line. Send it wide now. Dest floats it into the box. Sutar towers over them all. Lupale and Burgess just pushes it across the sideline. Freeman takes a throw. And so the ball went out of play, and Australia will get a throw in themselves. Getting down to the last little bit of this half. 7.5 minutes or so remaining of regulation time. We'll have, we know, a few minutes of stoppage time. 1 goal and the hydration break to make up for. Got a head clash here. Oh, that doesn't look good. Both players strewn and prone. Physios and trainers immediately called on. Weston McKennie just wanted to argue the referee that it was a foul. Referee saying, look, it's a genuine head clash, both going for the ball. Hey, Rafid, so I just saw your messages there. It's a very good question. Why do they have it so early in the morning? Well, it's the time zones, I suppose. The Americans get their time slot that suits what they want for their television and different other things, I'd say. It does make it tough as a fan just to watch along, though, at different times for the Aussies. Anywhere between 3 and 5 a.m. in different time zones for Australia. So, Alex Freeman still very slow to his feet. Paul Okonenk's back on his as well. Referee just checking as to what's happening here. So Okonenk's might have got a little bit of a nick on the back of his head from the collision. Okonenk's dad, Paul Ocon there, watching along. Former Socceroo himself. Get to play at a World Cup. Part of the coaching staff. Interesting that they're not making the players go off after the treatment. First I've seen that in a long time, if ever. But we get back underway here, and Ream and Richards. Played around, go all the way back now to Freese. Brings it down, good strong tackle. Hey, OG Elite. Yeah, look, it is. We just like to find things to complain about sometimes, I think. It's worth being up early, but yeah, in an ideal world, they just put it on in the, the time slot that suits. But anyway, the good thing is at 5 a.m. it doesn't clash with much, right? Exactly right. Here's hoping we find something. Ball down the line. McKenny. Trying to out-fox Burgess. Plays it into the box. It's drilled away, but they're right there. And again, McKenny picks it up. Weaves his way into the 18-yard box. Plays it back out to Adams. Freeman calls for it. They go wide again. Dest. Such a danger. Plays it in. Ball one out. Australia. He can't tackle it. Still don't come away with the ball. Freeman. Dest. Boss comes away with it, but we're going to have a foul. Defender all over the back of Freeman there. Wonderful deft touch. Burgess. Okonengsa trying to clear it away, and Okonengsa in the end, the one that gives away the foul, just outside the 18-yard box. Great chance here. Robinson will push it back behind the 18-yard box. I'll take a strike from range. Beach was there, diving. He went one way, and then they get the header, and they get it done. Are we going to have an offside, or are we going to have a goal? There's no celebration. The offside flag is up. Score remains 1-0. For a moment there, Alex Freeman thought he'd got a second for the US. Robinson pushed it back. Strike was taken. There it is, a couple of players offside. Floated in, and it wasn't actually Freeman that was the man that was offside. So, just active offside. I think they're going to review this. They're reviewing it with VAR. Nervy times for the Aussies. Interesting to see whether it's Freeman or another player, and whether the other player was deemed to be involved in the lead-up. Referee's going to go and have a look at the screen. Goal stands. US leads 2-0. Freeman ruled onside. It's going to be a long way back for Australia from here. As we go into stoppage time, we're going to have a little bit of stoppage time, I think. So it was Tillman that was the man offside, and then Freeman the one that came through and took the header on and got it done. Tough one for Beach. He reacted well to the initial shot. Got himself across. Actually, it's Balogun who's the man offside. Recovered, got himself back up. Just couldn't get across in time to punch the ball away in the path of Freeman. Heartbreak for the Aussies. America leads 2-0 now. Absolutely getting on top. Good to have you all tuning in. Make sure to hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, and let us know, is there a way for the Aussies to come back from here? The Americans being an offensive force. Foul now going against the US. Yeah, I just saw that 7 minutes. So that seems about right, to be fair. They've been pretty good with that this World Cup. Hasn't been overkill. What do you think, Mosky? Can we find a goal in these 7 minutes? I think we look more like we're going to concede another one rather than scoring one. As Chicardi gets the last touch and it goes out of play, and we'll have an American, a US corner. Be Malik Tillman to take the corner. Yeah, me and you both. Me and you both. USA taking their time at this corner. Robinson peels away as the short option. Up they get. The Aussies get a deflection on that. The foul given against Chris Richards. So Australia now with another foul. Out wide. Burgess takes it, drives it long. Controlled once, not controlled the second time, but that'll be another foul here. The Americans now the ones giving it away. Oh no, he's given it against Geordie Boss, has he? It's called him for simulation here. Or is he saying it came off his hand? Maybe that's the other call. Interesting, interesting. Not a lot going the Aussies' way. As it stands at the moment, with the USA leading this one, what we realistically will be hoping for, the game between Paraguay and Turkey, is probably a draw between those two teams. And rely on Australia beating Paraguay. But still a long way to go. Still a whole second half to come. Richards. McKennie back to Richards to Ream. Australia starting to press again. Tyler Adams. Just working the ball around here. Trying to find avenues to get through other US. Australia pressing, forcing a few just slight missteps. Now, Tillman plays it back. Boss gets a nudge. Ball's going to be out of play. I think we'll have a corner here. I'm going to say goal kick. So Boss last touch. Goal kick it is. Okay. 5 minutes done of the 7 minutes. Australia get a throw in the attacking half. Interesting to see what Australia can come up with too, with injecting some fresh legs at some point. I've seen some of the clips. I didn't watch the whole game, Mosky. Australia go long with a throw. Ream gets the head to it. Header pinball at the moment. The Canadian player down here. Balogun. Harry Sutar's chin in the back of his head. It's a pretty wild game in terms of unpredicted score lines. 6 goals for Canada was very impressive. What are your takeaways, Mosky? Another American player down. Play on though. Freeman pushing down the outside. It is a good save. Well done, Beach down to his right. Working around here, trying to find something late. Push it wide. Geordie Boss gets past one. Accelerates past the second. We have that'll be half time, says the referee. And the break, it is the US well on top here. Only 2 goals to nil. I'll tell you what, it was a pretty strong first half from the Americans. It's hard to take much away from them. Got a 2-goal lead, Australia, with a lot of work to do in this second half. I'm looking forward to seeing what impacts some substitutions can have, but it's going to need to be something big. I did say 2-2 before the game. I'm a little nervous about that now. The Americans well on top here. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be back with the second half in about 10 minutes or so. In the meantime, enjoy your halftime break. Make sure if you haven't already, please hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel, and we'll see you in the second half in about 10 minutes or so. Well, welcome back as we get set for the second half here. The Socceroos with all sorts of work to do. Wait and see if there's any changes made at half time. As the two sides make their way out. Onto the pitch here. The referees lead the way. Australians next out. Doesn't look like any changes at this stage for the Aussies. Not any obvious changes for the Americans either. Unsurprising in that case. Good to have you tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to hit like on the video, subscribe on the channel. You know the drill at this point. As I say that, Australia have got two changes coming. Jason Guerrier will be one of those. He's getting the last instructions. And Connor Metcalf will be the other. Where exactly they come on will be the next question. Yeah, fresh legs, Mosky. I'm happy with the Metcalf substitution. Gary looked good last game too when he came on. Obviously, very different section of the game. So it'll be Burgess coming off. For Guerrier. And Valupale. Probably makes sense. I've got Aaron Kunda coming as well. We had three changes in one. So Mohamed Toure will come off. Might have been a little earlier than that was intended, I think, but three changes, a triple change at half time. I was surprised when it looked like they were coming out of the sheds with no changes, but that makes sense now. Here they go. And are we underway or have we had a false start? Now we're underway. There was a false start. The US just clear it long. And just off the sideline side of the corner flag. So interesting times here. The Aussies need to find a bit of spark pretty quickly. The Americans happy just to sit back here, and why not when you have a 2-goal lead in a crucial group game? Take your time, no rush. Yeah, wide here and played on and down. And change your pass. The Aussies come away down the right-hand side. Aidan O'Neill wants a foul. He's not getting one. It's going to be a goal kick. Freeze takes the goal kick. Ends up one pass later all the way back at Harry Sutar in central defence for Australia. The Aussies now over the ball, working it. Bring it back to Sutar. Guerrier now on the edge of defence. Just lost control of the possession and away it goes over the sideline. throw now long from Robinson. A foul given here against Harry Sutar. Very cagey in those first couple of minutes. Richards plays it wide. Feed it all the way back now to Freese, who will play it out to end up with Richards. He gets it wide now for Alex Freeman, the goal scorer. Very patient build up again. Earmark of the US side in this game. It's happy to play it around. McKenny plays it long now. Drop back and advancing lines for the US. That seems a fairly gentle foul for Dest. Just a little clip, and he goes to ground from Chikati. Now they work it around again, the US. They play it wide to the left with Robinson. Back to Ream. Back again to Richards. Bouncing around is McKenny. And picks it up again. Pushing forward. Thinks about taking on Irinkunda, decides better of it. Working around the outside of defence here. But Australia turn it over. Get the ball back. Momentarily at least. And the biggest challenge, they haven't been able to string together possession. And here they go back to Beach, and he just has to clear it longish. And again, finds an American shirt. No continuity of possession from the Australians, making it really challenging to get out of their own half, let alone threaten scoring a goal. They've one decent chance so far in the match. Don't really look like scoring outside of that. Now they push across, and Dest pushes it wide. Tillman will go back and pick it up. A couple of exchanges of pass. They've gone back to their defensive line, the US. Smaller Adams. Across Ream. Robinson. Cuts inside, beats one. Can't beat the second. Has it taken away? Irinkunda gets a touch. Australians working through their midfield now, switching it wide. Italiano cutting back in. Tries to cross it into the box. Not that there's really any avenues there to go forward. Aidan O'Neill wants a foul. Referee says no. US slipped it in behind. And away they go. Here comes Balogun looking for a third. Well defended. Really good pressure there. And Chikati getting back and just shutting down. It was a nice early ball out in front for Balogun. Chikati had all the work to do. Combination of Chikati and Beach. Push it away for a corner. So the US here looking to create another dangerous situation and extend this lead. At 3, it starts to get to a point of almost no return. Yes, there's still more than 38 minutes to play, but across deep, the corner, seen away, Irinkunda flicking it wide. Doesn't quite maintain possession again, the Australians. Glenengsler gets the ball long. Now, Irinkunda trying to feed it in behind. Can't quite cue it where he wants. Adams. Now they play it across McKenny. Gets the early ball. Sutar working hard on Balogun. Chikati gets the last boot in, and it'll be another corner here. America's just turning up the heat. Where do we find something here, guys? Where do the Aussies find something? Taken quickly and pushed wide. Played into legs again. This time it's kind of Metcalf blocking the attempted cross of Malik Tillman. And again, another corner. There's nothing from what I've seen so far here that is suggesting Australia are getting back into this game. They're going to need some sort of miracle. That one's headed up, pops up off the pack. Another head knock here, and Balogun and Chikati have gone head to head. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you can see something here that suggests that Australia are going to find something. Or do we just need blind optimism at this point? Do we need to start turning to Paraguay? Thanks, Mosky. Look, I don't want to be right about this, but it really feels like it. Yeah, like it'd be interesting to see how this other game this afternoon goes, Turkey and Paraguay, from a pool point of view. But one thing we do know from games early today is that Mexico are going through to the knockout stages after they got a win. So first the host through, and as it sits at the moment, America will join them, and is Canada. You'd have to think even if they lost both their next games, they would be in a pretty good position as America go long here and just easily picked up on the bounce by Beach, and he decides that they'll play out. They push forward, and again, two passes strung together and then turnover. It seems to be about the limit of the Australians at the moment. Irinkunda gets the ball back. They don't even get two passes. That time it's just one. We've got Australians strewn on the ground everywhere here. Italiano down. You're going to see a yellow card. For Anthony Robinson. Is it? Or is it going to Pepe? There's been a couple of challenges there. Yeah, it looks like the Robinson one was the original one. The replay threw me off then. So Robinson goes into the book. Ball lofted wide by the Socceroos, headed back infield, and again, it's going to be picked off by the Americans. Just feels like they've got an extra player out there sometimes, the way they can just find an extra man to break up play. Captain Tim Ream will just slow things down. They've been really good at just resetting and composing with their defensive line. I'm really impressed with how they've done that. I think, to be fair, this game's probably been even more impressive than their win over Paraguay so far. Now Pepe working it back. Robinson wide. Not a much chance for involvement, Ricardo Pepe. Tyler Adams. Back to Richards. Plays it wide. Dest. Back to Tillman. Pops it over the top. Kenny trying to appeal that Ciccati took that over the byline, but the referee having none of it, and so it will be a goal kick. 12.5 minutes gone in this second half, and Australia still looking very unlikely as Jason Guerrier streams away down the sideline. Tillman gets a touch and it goes over for an Australian throw. Dear, oh dear. Not shaping well. Ball pushed forward. This is probably the best chance they've had this half. Boss. Aaron Kunda, does he get a touch? No, he doesn't. It's come off Ream and corner's given. Tim Ream waggling his finger at the referee. Tell you what, I wouldn't cop it as a referee. I'd just be going over there and asking him who's in control here. The referee's done a good job today, though. Matt Leckie down on the ground. Having trouble getting back to his feet, Matt Leckie. That's not a good sign. Make sure to hit like on the video. Hit subscribe on the channel. Australia out looking for some more fresh spark. And here he comes. The man we thought we would never see in a Socceroos jersey, the way things shaped. All it took was repeated failures of Italy making it to a World Cup, and Christian Volpato will come on in a Socceroos jersey in a World Cup. So Australia now just the one change left that they can make. US yet to make a change. Less than 30 minutes of regulation time remaining. So Volpato for Leckie. Here he goes. So, what can the young man bring to the Socceroos in this one? They're going to need some spark. Can he be the man? As the goal kick goes out of play. Guerrier with the throw. Nodded on. Aaron Kunda plays it in again. 2-pass turnover. Nice ball through. Don't know if Balogun was onside. It was going to be tight on review, but it doesn't matter because they've turned it over. Aaron Kunda down the line. They pulled it up. Dear, oh dear, sprays the ball over the crossbar. Volpato, his first opportunity was to take a shot. Another Australian play down in the box. We're going to run out of players at this rate. That was exactly the counter that Australia needed. Aaron Kunda onside. Beat the outside shoulder of Ream, exactly where they'll be looking to attack. Just, yeah, I don't know, Mosky. It's hard, right? Well, Pardo should have had a good strike on that. Should have at least got it on, you got to get it on target. That's my frustration. Most passes we've strung together in a while, so take something from it. I think we strung together 3 passes. 2 to get, maybe 4. 2 to get Nestori free. Then Nestori's pass back into Volpardo. And take your chances when you get them. What are we thinking this next game? Scotland, Morocco. US into the box here. Pinball around the clearance, not exactly clear. They get away in the end, Australia. 2 passes. 3 passes. 4 passes back to Sutar. 5 passes. This is some sort of record for today. 6, and away they go down the left. Boss getting free. 7 passes. Get a couple together when we're going backwards. Hit double digits. Looking a little more fluid, but just backtracking. American press just creeping up. Guerrier. Better trying to get inside Robinson. Played on. It's a little heavy. Right idea, though, for Aaron Kunda. That's better play. Just building up, and trying to set him in behind. That's exactly what we need to be doing, but we needed to start doing that 64 minutes ago. So, well, block there. Putting the press on. This is better. Putting them under pressure. Richards gets it away. Now it's played into the box. Aaron Kunda. Drop back. Pass. Shot. Well saved. Again. Shots on target. Calf did a much better job with that one. Didn't have a lot of room to work with, but at least get it on target. Force a save. That last 60 seconds is exactly the football we need to be seeing. 2 pass, 3 pass. There we go. Set free. Release. Aaron Kunda's not that quick. Reese has to get the header out. But again, force them to play uncomfortably. Aaron Kunda wanted a foul. It's one of those ones that could have been given, but rarely is in that sort of position of the field. Balogun, good sliding tackle. There we go. It's like we only just arrived, Australia. USA just happy to work it around now. Richards played across. Next stoppage will probably be our drinks break, you would suggest, our hydration break / ad break. Getting fluency here, the US is playing it around in their back line. They'll play it back again. Australians need to creep the press, not draw up too hard. Time their runs. They go back to Freese here. That's good. Force the long kick. Guerrier gets the header. Gonna fall for Robinson. Don't mind that though. Richards will play wide. Nice ball back inside for the US. At right edge. Just trying to probe away there. Adams. Back again to Richards. Ream. forcing the stretch for that one. Didn't quite work out, but they go back to Ream again. Robinson will make a run. That's exactly where they go, over the top looking for him. Must be a touch too wide. Good idea. Execution not quite on. And right on 22.5 minutes, our referee says that will do us nicely for a hydration break. And everyone will go to an ad. Interesting time indeed around how they approach these and how it goes forward. Three more games to come today. It's 24 degrees and the players can't cope. That's what's happening out there, Mosky. They need it. They need a break. Some of the players look like they've barely broken a sweat, to be fair. Perfect football weather. Clear, dry conditions, 24 degrees. It sounds like a win-win to me. Not that we need to stop and break up the flow, but hey, Australia will almost take on anything we can. Hopefully, maybe Popper's got some magic that he wants to instill in them now. Because we have not really, let's be honest, looked like scoring outside of that half chance in the first half. I think the US haven't even made a change yet, so 3 more games to come today as well. Scotland, Morocco next up. Brazil, Haiti. I have a feeling that could be a little ugly, but the one that'll have a lot of interest for Australians now based on this result will be Turkey up versus Paraguay. Some other interesting ones coming up in the next couple of days as well. Things will start to really take shape as everyone gets through their second games. I'm really looking forward to England and Ghana on Wednesday morning. That'll be an interesting one. And seeing the Canadians in action again Thursday morning, whether or not they can continue on and build from that massive win they had, or whether it was as much Qatar not being great. And if it is, how will Qatar go against Bosnia? A pretty busy schedule once we get into those last group games because there's 6 games a day. So, and obviously, to avoid collusion, the games are played at the same time, all that sort of stuff. As we said, the one thing we do know is that Mexico are through. They are the first team qualified after their win over South Korea yesterday. It's better. Ocon Exler cutting infield here for Australia. Tries to feed it in. I don't mind if the turnovers when we're trying to attack. When the turnovers just trying to get out of our defence, that's when I'm having trouble. It certainly looked a little better either side of this hydration break, I think. Yeah, right. I did not see that. So, yeah, well, that's going to be a big loss. It's a huge loss for Canada. Nice work there. He's trying to thread the eye of the needle, Connor Metcalf, putting that ball through two players in midfield. Does well, though, fighting to get the ball back. And gets back to his feet, but Robinson dispossesses him. I feel like Australia needs to be careful here. We've got a few people coming in pretty carelessly. Here Kunda throws a shoulder and just bumps the American captain off his feet. Trying to spark his team to life. The US will make a change now. Be Sebastian Berhalter to come on for Ricardo Pepi. Berhalter plays for the Vancouver Whitecaps. The MLS. Freese plays it out now. US just managing the clock and 16 minutes plus stoppage time. I have to say it's almost a foregone conclusion. It would be one of the great World Cup miracles for Australia. Balogun just locking himself in there with Guerrier. Guerrier not letting go, and the foul goes against the Aussie. Australians getting read the right act a little bit. And now Tillman working forward. Good Aussie numbers tracking back in defence here. That looks positive. Adams plays across now. Fresh change. Berhalter with a mistake. Australia, 1 pass. 2 pass. 3 pass. There we go. Starting. 4. 5 and moving it along. It's much better. Threaded through midfield. Metcalf pushes it wide. Italiano back into Metcalf now. Why is Italiano? Volpato. Volpato crosses it in. Just Metcalf just out of his reach there. Again, looking much more promising. 12 passes. Guerrier trying to cross in behind. Richards is there. Ocon Exler. Ocon Exler again. Plays it across. Guerrier. Wide to Volpato. Pushing it around. There we go. Pushing in the box. Volpato. Again, dangerous. Irakunda. Just can't quite get that last little piece there. It's turning the screws, looking more impressive. Jackson Irvine comes on. Ocon Exler off. Bit of experience coming in. Maybe can convert a few more of these opportunities. Volpato down. Robinson being cautioned. Ciccati coming from a mile away. A little bit of a careless slap of the arm. We move on, nothing done from that. Ball off the legs of Adams will go out of play, and Socceroos will have a throw deep in attacking territory. Jason Gerry will take it, will he? No. He'll hand it on. Alexandro Ciccati will be the man to take this now. Looking for the long throw. Sides against going into the box. Gets the ball played back to him. Looks for a cross. And it'll go off the legs of Balogun, and it'll go out for a corner for Australia. Something. Just over 10 minutes remaining. If they could claw one back here, it'd be a grandstand finish. Great to have you tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit like on the video, hit subscribe on the channel. Plenty more live watch-alongs coming. We'll have some other episodes dropping over the weekend and in the coming days as well. Ball crossed in, floated deep. Sutar getting up for it, doesn't win out. Strike take from range, doesn't matter. The foul already given against Sutar. Geordie Boss will be happy because he'd love to have that again because it almost went into orbit. Time ticking down. Here come the changes for the Americans. Jay Scally comes on. He'll replace Sergino Dest. Trying to work out what's happened here. Anthony Robinson has come off for Trusty. There we go. Austin Trusty will come on. The US work this ball around. Yeah, Mosky, it'd be huge if we get 1 point on the board. It'd basically guarantee our progression because of results, unless Turkey won both their games. From here, they'd have to beat Paraguay and the US. Ball down the left flank. Boss tries to curl it in, but it's deflected. Sliding challenge, wins the ball out. Boss comes back, trying to take him on himself. Decides better of that. And play the ball back and work it around. Sutar now. Push wide if he wants. Decides better of it. Gives it to Guerrier. Back to Sutar inside the centre circle. Now, Italiano. He's got time. He's got space. Happy to lay it off for Irvine. Work it around here. This is better. Cross into the box. Back post. A little too quick even for Geordie Boss's pace. 82 minutes gone. Ticking down. Again, you'd expect somewhere in the realm of at least 5 to 6. Gary with the throw again. 5 to 6 minutes at a time. Sorry, I was trying to say. Just had a little technical issue. Great to have you tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit like on the video. Hit subscribe on the channel. That's what helps us grow. It helps us keep pushing up the algorithms, all those fun things, technology, etc., etc. Nice little flick on there. Put into the box. Opportunity. Spilling about. Appeals for penalty. Referee says play on. Ball spills to Australia again. Pushed out wide. Italiano tries to cross it into the box. America is calm and composed in dealing with it. Balogun gets it away for the time being. Australia get it back. Sutar for Irvine. Irvine plays it out in front. Now into the box here. Irvine plays it into the legs of Richards. Richards happy to concede a corner. Into the box, headed away. Italiano puts it in. Oh, why the push? Guerrier. Australia just, why would you do that? Pushing out. Yeah, Mosky. That was our chance. But we blew it before it even really got in there. When it came back in on that second endeavour, let's have a look here. Who's that at the back post, just pushing out? Like, it's just, you're never going to get away with that. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. We need to own it. America have been far too good. Socceroos have been far from their best. Popovich irate about how long America taking with a goal kick. The fact of it is, I think we used our trump card against Turkey. And we didn't have one to play here. Australia press. Very good at getting up and after. Now it's headed forward. Sutar wins out. Irvine heads it forward. Brought down. Get a foul. Against Balogun. Following Balogun. Pardo barking instructions as he sends this ball long. Headed into the box. Just seen away again cleanly by Richards. Brought down by Volpardo. Guerrier. Volpardo pushing wide on the right. He's got Italiano out wider if he wants him. Irvine inside. Plays it down the line. Irvine cuts to the outside. Tries to play it back for Volpardo. Now just clubbed into the box. Sutar throws himself after it. Shot taken well off target. And again, pot shots, hit and hope. That's been almost the Australian MO today. I don't want to take it lightly, but at the end of the day, yes, they're a side that want to capitalise on the counter and get on the break, but what they've done today is not that. The good news is back to the drawing board, a chance now to regroup ahead of Paraguay. Still time here to potentially grab something out of it as we have a couple of American players down. They get back to their feet. It was Balogun was one. Now another goes down. Tempers just starting to flare up. Referee's having a conversation with a couple of players here. Yellow cards out of the pocket. Who's he going to go to? Three of them. Italiano, Sutar, and Balogun. You have a yellow card. You have a yellow card. You have a yellow card. He's like Oprah giving them out, the referee. Giving as good as they're getting, the two of them. I'm not sure how Italiano got involved. Cardi was there. Italiano maybe just giving him a little bit too much feedback. Anyway, we get done. We move on. 3 yellow cards given out there. US play the ball down the line. Australia get hold of it, clear it longer. Irukunda. That's an interesting one. Irukunda and Scally both went up for it. Both came down. Neither got the ball. Neither got near the ball. Have a look at this. Just shoulder to shoulder, and they both came down, and he's given a foul against Irukunda. That's perplexing. Home crowd bounce, maybe. I don't know. Don't know at this point. We're ticking down to the end of the regulation time. We get to the outside here, the US, and Tristy just plays it into the legs, and another corner for the US. I think Malik Tillman to take the corner. He's going to step away. Berholtz is there. They're just going to try and play down the clock now. 6 minutes of added time to be played. Australia do well to take it away and earn the throw deep in defensive territory. Jason Guerrier. Socceroos will be well aware that an extra goal here would be huge for them. Breaking away now, and ball spills wide. Advantage played. Oh, that's wasteful. That is wasteful. Italiano. That probably just sums up Australia's day. I've just seen the replay of why Italiano got his yellow card away from the main incident of all the melee with Balogun and Sutar. Ball out of play, Australian throw. Australia go on the attack down the left. Nothing presenting, they bring it back. I'll rotate it through, which is across to Guerrier. Thought about going back to Sutar, but decided to go wide now instead. Some scrappy passing. America managed to interject themselves and come away with Balogun. A nice ball away here, creating an opportunity. They feed it back a little too heavy, and that's good for Australia because Balogun was open at the near post if they got there. They hit that right. It's like I said before, Australia knows that another goal for them, or a goal for them, would be huge. Another goal conceded harms their cause. Ball forward now. Irukunda gets cleaned up. The referee nearly got sniped as well. He had a stumble. Richards will get a yellow card. Makes it 7 in total given out. Referee's got a cramp. Players helping him stretch it out. Something you don't see every day. Lovely sportsmanship from Aidan O'Neill. The assistant referee's out there. You need someone else to take over. What's going on? The pickle juice coming out for the fourth official. They've got one of the Americans, Balogun, over there helping him out. Some water coming. He's back to his feet. Like I said, I don't understand this. It was extra hot, but the US will make another change here. Just got to run through it. Don't see that every game. You do not see that every day. Ball into the box. Cleared long by the US. Interesting to see now how much time's added for the referee. Injury. As I say, you don't see that every day. It's supposed to be 6 minutes. I feel like we probably need 7.5 now. Not that it's going to help the way Australia are in wasteful passing like that. Scratch this one from the memory. So Balogun will make way. Haji Wright and Giovanni Reyna will be the players coming on. I'm just going to make sure of who the other one coming off is. It'll be McKenny. Looks like. Weston McKenny makes way as well. A bit of minutes for the two bench players. Let's try and manage the clock down as well while they're going. The US. And realistically, they could blow full time now. It's not going to make a big difference. I can't see Australia getting a goal. We've hardly looked like it. The key match stats as they take the goal kick. At 37% of possession. We've had 2 shots on target. Just the only thing we seem to have won is the fouls committed. So Aaron Kunda does get this one away, feeds it into the box, and player subbed bet. Ball in front. That's an offside, surely. He's definitely offside here. Where's the flag? Get on with it. Oh, now it comes up. Yeah, well done. Well done. Well, put us out of our misery, sir. Ball goes long here. Irvine overhead, just hoping for something. You can't blame him at this point. But Seattle will not be remembered fondly by the Aussies. The Americans, well, they'll have booked their way through to the round of 32. Now it's all about who will join them. 1, maybe 2 other sides from this pool. Just at the referee's discretion now. It can't be long. even with that injury to the referee, which was bizarre in itself. Now, pushing forward, ball into the box. Seen away. Good work there, Gicardi. That is full time. Look, credit to the Americans. Well done to an improved second half from the Aussies, but a big step up needed against Paraguay next up to make sure they do get through. A big thank you to you all for tuning in. Great to have your company. Mosky, Murray, love the engagement, guys. Hopefully see you again soon. A few more live watch-alongs over the next couple of days before I take a little bit of about a week's break away from the channel and go on a little holiday, but then we'll be back ripping and tearing into it in early July with more World Cup and et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully by the time I get back, the Aussies are into the round of 32 and we've got something more to talk about, but we'll cover other games anyway. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Saturday for those of you who are in Australia. For those of you who are not, enjoy what's left of your Friday. And we'll see you again very, very soon here on the Chris McPherson Show.